Yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. I've been looking over the specs for it as well. You're using AMD Ryzen, which is really good for like extra, like really good for gaming and cores and threads and all that. With the Blender stuff though, I've never used AMD Ryzen cores before with Blender and animation tech, so it'd be interesting to say the least, with the Ryzen stuff. But it should work just as the same, really, because I've got a Windows Core i5 chip, which is more work-based station chips, which is handled more fruit, more design, with more. I can't get the words out. It's handling more workstation applications, if you get what I mean. And of course, the AMD is more for design for gaming, fast paced and that sort of stuff. But it should be fine. But honestly, I am kind of jealous because I don't know anyone that's got like $3,000 lying around for a PC. Like,
Well, it's just me. I've got 10 grand just lying around my bedroom. I don't know what to do with it.
uh, yeah.
If only
But
I had
no,
that problem.
yeah. But no, do let me know when you're gonna buy that because I will. I will help you set it up because I want to see this thing because I just want to like I want to see it.
Well, my plan is to buy it on the day we watch Deadpool and Wolverine, but I'm not too sure if it'll be set up on that day but I might set up on the Friday or the Saturday. But either way, either way, I'm hoping to get on the Wednesday.
Cool. Ooh,
Hmm.
ooh, ooh. I know we're
What?
supposed to start the podcast like 20 minutes ago, but I just checked the site and they've got some discounts. They've got some special offers going on.
Ooh. Okay. Hang on, okay. Let me get a hold of that first.
The NFG 60 4080 Super. 16 gigabytes. You can definitely get more in that. The NFG 32 gigabytes. That's 16 gigabytes. Ooh, is that DDR4? Sorry, you know what? Oh my god, that's 64 gigabytes. Sorry, you know what? We're going to talk about this after the podcast because even I'm intrigued now. They've got some really good stuff going.
Uh, um. Okay. Let's start then. Hello. No. Oh God. No. Hello and welcome
Wrong
back to
channel.
another talk episode. No. Hello and welcome back to another talk episode. I'm your host Teddy, and today I'm being joined once again by.
Hayden.
And today we're going to talk about the TMNT 2003 Season 2 Episode 7 Secret Origins Part 2. So, what do you think about this episode briefly?
Well, this episode was really cool, and it's a follow up from the previous episode. To be honest, I thought this was just really cool. And that's all I can say, really. It's just really cool because there's so much more that I want to say, but I can't really. It's difficult to explain. It's because this is it's part two of three, so there's still more information. But briefly, really cool.
I mean, I'd just say that I'm quite the opposite. I'd just say that this episode is like really pointless for me. I found it to be like very disappointing because even like what we seen in the last episode, where it was allowed to explore and expand history and the lore of this universe, and then going into this episode, which is just basically more or less like a filler kind of episode with like a few exceptions here and there. But it's really disappointing and annoying. But other than that, it was decent enough. So yeah, okay, should we start with the stuff that happens on the outside of the VR bit before we're going to talking about the TMT stuff?
Can do, yeah. Whatever you want to do. I've got so much. I've got so much to say, but I'll let you pick.
Okay, let's talk about the army trying to break into the TCRI building. What do you think about that bit there?
Oh yes, the National Guard. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool to see the National Guard just kicking down the doors. Well, I say try to kick down the doors, and then of course they open fire, and they're firing their tanks, their artillery, their weapons, but nothing breaks through it. I thought that was pretty cool. Seeing the real world, the National Guard, seeing like New York's National Guard and how they dealing with the situations. But then, of course, they then call in an Apache attack helicopter. Um, definitely wasn't definitely thinking, okay, that's a bit weird. What are they going to do with that? And then, of course, they just start firing on this building in New York. I'm surprised there wasn't any collateral damage when they did so, but it was just insane to think like, okay, let's call in the big guns, let's call in an Apache attack helicopter and fire some Hell missiles at it. Like I did not think that was going to happen.
You had to see that with this bit here. I thought it was like pretty good, like setting up for the stuff on the outside because it does play a big role in the next episode, which I do quite enjoy. And there was, I mean, there wasn't really too much to it, but I did enjoy how it was just trying to keep escalating things and showing off of like how like powerful the technology in metal is for the Utroms. I thought that's pretty cool. But when it's like blown, I'd say like trying to blow up the building. My one biggest thing with that is how didn't they break like the pavement around it? Because they threw quite a few missiles at it. It should have easily broken the concrete around it.
Yeah, to be honest, I had the same thoughts, but maybe the Utron have like blast proof the ground as well, so they can't like dig underneath it, or some technology that has prevented it. But I doubt that, and it's just like the turtle universe physics.
Yeah. Okay. The next bit I guess we'll talk about is Baxter Stockman going around trying to break Shredder into the building. What do you think about those scenes there?
To be honest, it was really cool to see Shredder back again after so many episodes, and of course seeing Stockman being his puppet again. What's left of him at least. But yeah, no, I thought it was really cool to see Shredder come out of the tunnel with his guard and him just being back because after the crazy last season finale of which his head gets decapitated and just seeing him walk again and being Shredder was just a bit crazy, just seeing him back after all this time.
Yeah, but I just say like because you already know all the context behind Shredder being back and all that, I feel like it's not really that much of a big reveal anymore, or a big like a big ONG kind of thing anymore.
Yeah,
But I'll just say like with this like these scenes, they were pretty okay. I want to say, and I did enjoy Shredder coming back because well, it's Shredder and stuff like that, and even seeing the guards come in, that was pretty cool. I mean, the only thing which I wouldn't necessarily say is a complaint, but it's just more of a question kind of thing, is that when Shredder was coming through the tunnel, he was like very shadowy, as if they're trying to hide who he is. Despite them playing his music and his silhouette being very obvious, I just found it to be so weird that they tried to hide him.
I don't know. I think it was like they're trying to add more mysterious to his character. Like he's returned this dark figure. Maybe it was like a sort of storytelling element thing. I'm not too sure. I'm looking way too much into this.
Yeah. Okay. Then for the last bit is the Utroms. That's talking about like basically going like, oh, more to when you get off this planet, they're trying to break in and all that kind of stuff. More to like, yeah, okay, I understand, but we're gonna get toes out. Anything to say about those scenes?
Not really. No, there wasn't too much to talk about there. However, there is a thing I do want to talk about. I understand now that the Utron Council are the navigators that crash landed all those years ago. They've become this sort of Utron Council, and I thought that was pretty cool. Just seeing, that's who they are. That's why they're the navigators. Just piecing it all together. That's what I found really interesting about that scene.
You have to say that for the most part, there wasn't really too much I can really say about these scenes because they're like kind of scenes that just happened and stuff like that, but didn't really add anything to it. But I do like find it like a bit weird. Like Mortu's trying to risk his whole life to trying to save a turtle in my splinter, despite him putting them in there, and he could just automatically just leave them, and and they might get taken by the government or something like that. But it wouldn't be their problem. I find it interesting, but a bit weird. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you've all the actual VR bit inside the virtual world and all that. We did get to see the first battle between the turtles and the VR foot. What do you think about that scene there?
Well, now that was a pretty cool fight. I really did enjoy that because we're seeing the old Foot Clan fight and seeing how they were developed from the originals. And of course, we see that they're human, and of course, they're probably local villagers that have been recruited by the Foot and Shredder, working under his command. And I thought that was just really cool to see how they've changed and how the designs have changed from like the early years in the past to the present day Shredder and the Foot Clan. I thought that was just really cool to see.
Yeah, to say that with this fight scene, I thought it was like pretty good for the most part. There wasn't anything like really outstanding, unlike the other fight scenes. I thought it was like pretty good to see like Patel's fight the Foot Clan, even if like sort of their Foot Clan, sort of not, and all that kind of stuff. I did like find it interesting with Rafi being somewhat good with the swords. So I don't know what to really make of that, but that's quite cool. Um, but yeah, to be honest, other than that, there wasn't really too much to this bit. I had to wonder though, like with the bamboo sticks and all that, because I was able to like hold off swords and all that. So how strong are the bamboos? So I guess there's that. um, so yeah. Okay, so then going into the next bit, which I think you might find to be possibly one of the coolest scenes in this episode, we go see the origins of the Sword of Tengu. What do you think about that scene there?
Now that was very interesting. Um, because the Sword of Tengu I found very interesting was because I had never knew the origins of the Sword of Tengu. Sure, I've seen it in other TV series and other elements of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but seeing the actual Sword of Tengu being crafted and being handed down to Shredder, and to know its origins and existence because of it, it just pieced together all the different bits of knowledge that I did have, and now it's made a much clearer picture on how and why the Sword of Tengu was made. And I just thought that was amazing. Just that little storytelling, that little storytelling element. I just loved that. Just seeing, wow, that's the Sword of Tengu. That's the ultimate weapon that the turtles tried stealing before, and why it was so feared. And it just shows like, wow, this is where it all started. And just seeing that, I just felt like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, to say for this bit here, I really did enjoy this bit because it's able to like I'd say for like I think that this is possibly one of the best scenes, and one or like I'd say like one of the best scenes, and also one of the most important ones. Just because in this one we did get to see the origins of Sword Tengu, which I found to be pretty interesting. Just because I know I feel like there's like so many things at play here because we got to see like Shredder giving them like ultra metals and with that, I had to wonder like how strong metals are that will survive over like over like 1,000 years or something like that, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool to see all transpired from here. And then this, I feel like there's so much because also like, last season where we did get Steve Schroeder talking about it to tell us he's like, ah yes, this sword has conquered all these armies and done all this and this and this and that. It's just so fascinating to see like it all come from here and then everything transpired from there. It's just so interesting and really cool to see like it all happen from this one little bit here. Also, I must admit I did really enjoy the person who was given Shredder the sword. That person was voiced by Sam Riegel, who did the voice of Donatello, and I don't know what to remake of her voice because it sounds uh, very stereotypical. I think might be the best way to describe it. It doesn't sound natural. Hopefully, you understand what I mean by that.
Um, yes and no. It's, I don't know. It's difficult to explain.
Yeah, it's just like one of those kinds. I mean, it sounds like his voice, but it sounds like he's putting on a voice to sound like someone else, which yeah. Okay, moving on
Yeah.
maybe. Okay, so for the next bit, we do get to see the turtles go out and save some civilians who have been attacked by the foot. What do you think about that scene there?
To be honest, I thought that was another cool scene that we saw. We got to see the villagers from the local village being attacked by the foot and being saved by the turtles, and including the early versions of the Utron Guardians, which were actual fellow humans that were recruited by the Utron and not Utron themselves, which I thought that was really cool. Like, these are the first Utron Guardians protecting the Utron and their secrets. And I was thinking, wow, okay, are they Utron underneath it? And but then of course I realized, is like, hold on a minute, they're actual humans that have been recruited. They're not Utron underneath. They're not in their giant robots because one, they haven't developed the technology to do that yet, and two, why would they be fighting even though they'll put themselves in a vulnerable position? And that's when I pieced together, it's like they've recruited actual humans to be the guardians. And then of course it comes all together in the end to thinking, wow, these are the early versions of the guardians. And of course they had the medallion of the Utron, on their chests, so it kind of pieced it together a bit more easier for me. But I just thought that was just another cool little detail in there.
Yeah, to say that it was actually pretty cool to see. Like, this is where the like original Guardians come from. I think that like this series did like a really good job of just exploring and expanding the lore of history of certain things, and I think like when you see like stuff like this, where like it dates back to like the 11th century, I think there's like so many cool possibilities you could really do there, like to like really show off and explore just like how much they've influenced like like humans and stuff like that, and what they've done over the years. I feel like there's so many possibilities you could do with it. Unfortunately, they don't do anything like that, but it's just so interesting and amazing as how to do something like this, and it's so cool to see it will happen like back here and all that kind of stuff. And then even with the fights itself, I thought it was pretty good for the most part. There wasn't really too much I can really talk about because it's just it happened and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, and then also I have to say he's a little bit with like the with how Leonardo's talking to the guy member afterwards and go like, "How would you find you?" And the person goes around says, and he goes around and says, "You know what? We'll find you." Like how? I have so many questions about that because because this never happened in like their timeline. How to find them? So many questions, but yeah. Okay, so for the next bit, which was another pretty cool bit, we do get to see the Shredder comes in and fights the turtles before Lino gets the sword of Tengu to fight the Shredder. What do you think about that bit there?
To be honest, that was an interesting development, where Master Splinter informs Leo about, hold on a minute, this is just a dream, this is an illusion within an illusion. You can control it. That was actually pretty smart of him to say that, because even though Splinter doesn't understand the principles of the technology behind it, he understands the psychology of it. Like, hold on a minute, this is an illusion within an illusion. They don't know that they're an illusion, but we do. We have the upper hand. And of course, when Leo controlled his mind and he opened up his mind, this did remind me a lot of the Matrix. I'm not gonna lie, so much Matrix going on when Leo opened up his mind and he took the weapon out of Shredder's hand. That was pretty cool because he then realizes, like, wow, I have so much control. I have the power to change the narrative, just like Neo from the Matrix. And of course, we do get a little Matrix movie quote in there when Donnie says, "Oh, nice job, Neo," and then corrects himself to say Leo. And I just thought that was really cool. It's like, ah, I see what you did there. I know what you did.
Yeah, I'll say about this bit. It's only because I want to have like same enthusiasm as you do, but at the same time, I don't know because I do think that it is really cool to see Leo like use this sort of Tengu to defeat the Shredder, but without like there's so many things which I'm just like because like with that it just feels such a gimmick to basically have like the power to just do whatever they want and just defeat him, because at that point they might just just like think Shredder's dead and all that kind of stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then even with that, like also like why doesn't Delta use that information and create some fun stuff? Like it's especially with Mikey, like he would do some very creative and weird stuff in this world, but yet he doesn't. And then with this also like I must admit it does annoy me a little bit just how little Shredder actually does in the real world after this, because just because like with this scene, this never happened, but throughout his entire life on Earth, trying to find the Utrons, he never finds him up until that point in the show, like now in TCRI building, and there's only one point before that which we did get to see in like a future episode, but throughout these hundreds of thousands of years, he never found him again. I can't tell this Shredder is stupid or what because like it's annoying because he's like shown to be like a very dangerous threat over and over again, but yet he can't find the Utroms. Uh, yeah. Okay.
I
So
see you're very annoyed with this.
yeah. Okay. So then after that, we do get Sirito. So they come out of the pods, and that's when the Shredder show up. What do you think about that little bit there?
Of course, when the turtles come out the I don't know, matrix pods, I guess, when they come out the pods, I don't have too much to say for it because they've just come out the pods, they're disorientated, and of course Leo's trying to explain to like the Utron helped him from the past, but it was actually you. It's a very confusing what he said, but I don't really have too much to say for it, unfortunately, because the Shredder then comes in, which takes over everything. Um, and I thought that was just pretty cool seeing Shredder just enter the room. It's like, you only decapitated my head from my body. Like, it was nothing, you know? That's how dangerous he is. It's like, oh, I don't care if you decapitate me. I'm the Shredder, and I'm gonna do what you did to me tenfold. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to say that this scene. I mean, I have to say that I don't have too much to really say about it just now, just because it is a very like throwaway kind of scene and just setting things up for the next episode and stuff like that. So I do feel it's a little bit hard to talk about it right now, but at the same time, like I don't know, because I have things I want to say, but just because like Leonardo's reaction, like I want to talk about it a little bit, but at the same time I don't want to talk about it too much, just because like just like we just seen we do get to see Leonardo's like, oh my god, Shredder, you're alive? How are you alive? Oh my god! But yet last season we got to see Shredder come back from falling over the edge of a building with a waterfall tower falling on top of him, and yet he's like, "How did you survive?" Like, and this also just keep happening over and over again. Like the show, like somewhat dying, but then coming back and all that kind of stuff. It's just like it's so annoying with this show because this it gets really old really fast with this whole thing with Shredder, and just like why are you acting like that? You saw him virtually die last season. You're like, ah, well, but oh god, yeah, okay.
You're very. I can see you're very annoyed about this whole situation. Like, I do understand where you're coming from as well, and it can be very annoying if you think too much into it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It just feels like very Saturday morning cartoony, despite this show like being like a bit more mature and trying to go for the older audience. It just has that very Saturday morning cartoony feel, where it's just basically, oh, Shredder come back. How did he survive from that? Just falling off the building. How did he survive? Oh my god, I can't believe he's back. Oh well, it's time to kill him. Oh no, he's alive again. It's just, and this happens for like just like quite a few more times. Just like at what point does he truly dies? And uh, but yeah, what do you think about this episode overall?
Overall, I thought this was a really cool filler episode. To be honest, I really don't have much to say, except for the fact like it was cool to see the National Guard fly an Apache through New York City and blow a hole through the TCRI building. Unfortunately, apart from that, I can't really say much because this is just a filler episode for what's to come next. And of course, I can't talk about what's coming next because I haven't seen what's coming next. So it's really difficult for me on my end to try and piece together what's going to happen. Like, I can put little thoughts in my head, but there's just so much I still don't know about this particular universe and where it's going to go.
You have to see for like it's very annoying with this episode. Like when you're looking back at last week's episode, where it's like an episode for like truly explore the lore and history of the Utroms and Earth, and it's something which like we both really enjoyed and loved about it. And then going into this episode, which is just more or less a full episode for stuff that like never actually happened. But like there was like some interesting bits in this one, such as like seeing like the sort of Tengu for the first time, and also like the whole stuff with like the Guardians. I found that to be like really interesting and fascinating, but at the same time, it was still somewhat pointless because like most of that stuff has already happened in the past and just doesn't really have too much big effects on the present day stuff. But it's cool to know. But other than that, eh. And it's just so annoying with all the other stuff and like this whole episode is just mainly just setting things up for the next episode, which does like deliver on those promises of like, answering all the questions about stuff like that. But at the same time, it's just I feel like had this episode been like shorter and like combined into the next episode, it probably could have worked better. But unfortunately, it wasn't. Oh, one thing which I do have to ask you about, which I know might be a bit weird now, but throughout this whole episode, we do get to see them sort of like referring to the like Shredder as being a neutron, being like, "Oh, don't forget Shredder isn't it?" And then the cut out and all that. What do you think about those scenes? Because I know that you already know the big reveal and all that. So, like, what do you think about those scenes now?
To be honest, like you said, I already figured out what Shredder was last episode. But to be honest, because I know the information now, it didn't really have that much of a grand effect when they tried piecing together. Like, it was cool to say that for people that didn't know, but for people that have kind of pieced together what's going on, there's not much of a grand effect, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, and also I do feel like the way they went around it was like annoyingly stupid, and also just like really weird. Just because, just because, like in this bit, at the end where where Leonardo's about to, like gets her put back, it's like, oh no, he's about to tell me something, and like why didn't you ask him before you press the button and stuff like that? And then even with how they've like delivered the whole thing, it's just like Shredder, he's a, and then it's just like it just feels like very somewhat obvious, but at the same time, it just feels so like weirdly stupid in a way. But because I'd say for like just because like just like the series is a bit more mature and all that kind of stuff, which I do really enjoy. But with stuff like this where they do like play it down to be somewhat kiddie, it just feels so weird and just look just so. I could do a lot better. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah,
Okay, so do you want to hear some truth for this episode?
let's hear it.
Okay, so this is the last appearance of the Sword of Tengu, which that's actually kind of disappointing. Like when you consider the fact that like how big of a thing they made it out to be in last season, or that. I really wish I would have kept it in the show and actually did a lot more of it, but unfortunately they don't.
Oh.
Um, yeah, no, but I'd have to say that it's quite weird just because in last season, and the way they got rid of it was by plugging it into Baxter's arm to power down the foot, like Shredder's headquarters. But like they still like left the sword at Shredder's place. Anyone can go back and get it. It's not like it's like broken or anything because I'd say like because like it's still like sword and all that, it's still intact. The metal is still very powerful after like hundreds of years, and yet no one's decided to go back to get it. That this whole show is making me really rethink my my loyalty to the show now.
Oh, damn. That's how
Um,
much it's like messed with your brains, isn't it?
yeah. So this is the last time Shred. Okay. Yeah. No. I guess I can say now. This is the last time Ultron Shredder appeared, with his original armor. Um, that's kind of cool. Um, so after Leo makes the sword Tengu disappear, Donto calls him Neo instead of Leo as a reference to the Matrix film main character. So,
Yep.
yay, you got that correct.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so for the cast, we've got Donto voiced by Sam Riegel, Leonardo voiced by Michael St. Nicholas, Michelangelo voiced by Wayne Grayson, Raphael voiced by Gregory Abbey, Spencer voiced by Darren Dunstan, Morto voiced by Dan Green, Future Toy voiced by Oliver Wyman, Shredder voiced by Scotty Ray, Baxter Stoneman voiced by Scott Williams. The it got the young Japanese girl voiced by Veronica Taylor, who did voice of April. That's a little bit weird here. April's voice there. Um, oh, and this might be quite surprising. The person who did the voice for the army guard was the person who did the voice for Baxter Stockman in this episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
that's
cool.
yeah, and then for the next episode, he's also in that. And but it's a little bit weird just because in the Tulsa Road movie, they do have the same character, but he's not played by him. So yeah,
Huh.
unfortunately. Okay, now for your favorite part of the episode. You know what's gonna
Oh,
happen?
great. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Here it comes.
So who do you think is gonna start it?
Um, I. Oof. I
It can be anyone. Remember,
this is the thing. I don't know. There's so many.
it's a good
I'm.
guy.
He's a good guy. Okay, that helps. Not. um, I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna say Honeycutt, but I know it's not gonna be Honeycutt.
No, it's Splinter.
Oh, that was my backup. Okay. Yep. No. Oh well.
Yeah. And because we already know like the big reveal about Shredder being a neutron, how do you think he's like? So with that, like, how do you think he's going to be like revealed as a neutron in the next episode?
I think he's going to be in battle with the turtles, or and something knocks his head off again, and he reveals his true self, or whether the Utron captain will reveal the information to the turtles whilst they're escaping through the transmitter, perhaps. Um, those are my two main theories that I'm working with at the moment, but I really don't know.
You're actually quite close. How are you
Really?
doing this? Yeah, how are you doing this?
I don't know. I guess I can look into the future. I really don't know, but somehow I can't figure out who's going to be starting the intro.
Yeah, this luck won't last for long.
Let me have it, all right?
Uh, yeah, okay, yeah, might as well. Uh, but yeah, didn't we say about this episode, or you sort of done with this one? Because I feel like this one's gone really quickly.
To be honest, it really has been a really quick episode. But to be honest, I've said everything that I've needed to say. I thought it was really cool learning about the history. I thought it was really cool to see the development of the weapon Tengu, and just to see how the Utron developed and the first Guardians. I thought that was really cool to see. But unfortunately, it's just a filler episode for the big episode, part three of this little sub series within this main series. God, that sounds confusing. But you understand where I'm coming from, don't you?
yeah, it's just like a weird episode to try and fill out and be like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened when like nothing really happened. So yeah, I mean, overall, it was a really great episode. Some good stuff, mainly just annoying filler kind of stuff, which was just mainly forgettable. But yeah, yeah, I've been your host Teddy,
And I've been Hayden.
and we'll see you soon. Goodbye, yo, bye.
Bye.
And we're done.
Sweet. Yeah, no, it was a really difficult one because it was a really like short but cool episode at the same time because I didn't really have too much information except for the Sword of Tengu and the National Guard. That was the only two main bits that I liked. Like the National Guard coming in with an Apache attack helicopter and just blowing up half of New York, just trying to get into this one building.
Only you. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a weird one because because like I'd say for like, a lot of stuff in this one which was kind of cool, but it's mainly just set up for the next episode, which I think is just like annoying.
Mm. Yeah, it is. But of course, we'll have a lot more to talk about next week when part three.
Yeah, I mean, some things in the episode you definitely will have quite a lot to say about some things. That's all I'm gonna say right now. Is it-
Okay.
There's some big stuff, and I'm not talking about the shredder stuff. There's some big stuff.
Big stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And also not to mention also the National Guard and all that kind of stuff. So you got a lot to look forward to.
Nice. All right then. Should be good.
Oh, and with next week, I can only do up to Wednesday, and I'll be on a like off day for like doing the podcast for next week because I'm leaving on Thursday
Oh
at
wow. I
half
thought.
at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Damn.
yeah, so you gotta be there on time, really.
Okay, I will try and be there on time. Hopefully nothing comes up. Yeah. What's next week? It should be the. What's it? What's I forgot the date.
I think
What's the
it's
date today?
20.
18th.
I think it's 23rd. I think it's next week.
24th.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Oh, God.
Yeah, 24th podcast. There's nothing on. Same time?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Podcast, that's done.
But yeah. Yeah. No, I'll say that like please be there on time, just because I got like next week I got a lot of stuff to do again. Everything packed and ready to go.
Right, gotcha.
5:30 in the morning to leave.
And where you flying from again?
UK.
I know you're flying.
I don't know. London maybe.
Oh my god. You don't even know where you're flying to, Lou. Like, you gotta know where you're flying to.
I'm fine. Well, well, so okay, so and the only information I know about it is that I'm leaving from London somewhere to go to San Diego somewhere.
Oh my god, this. Oh, and you're going by yourself as well.
Don't you trust me?
Oh, I do and I don't because you're really getting me worried that you don't know what airport you're going to get the flight to San Diego.
There's one in London. That's good
Which
enough.
one? There are three.
Is there? Oh,
Well, there are.
okay.
Yeah, there are several.
I'll find out on the day.
Because you're talking. If you're talking about the London District airports, which is Stansted and Heathrow, then you've got the outer London District airports like Southend and all the other ones. Then you really do need to know which London airport you're going to.
I think it might be the Stansted one, maybe.
Stansted handles mostly international, including Heathrow, and Stansted is probably one of the, well, second biggest one in the country.
Okay.
Yeah, please do find out what airport you're flying to, because I know you're going to be like, oh shit, I'm at the wrong airport.
I'll have enough time to get to the other ones.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no,
I
you do
hope.
you, buddy. They
I'll
are
find
on
out eventually.
they are on the opposite sides of London, but who's